Hello, and welcome to the fourth installment of the Zoomer Experience. Today's podcast is sponsored by Rogue Energy.
Go to rogueenergy.com and use code Zoomer for 10% off at checkout.
All right. Now that we are finished with the intro and stuff, I got a bunch of small little news
Now that we're
topics.
officially started,
Yeah. I don't. These aren't the main topics. These are just random noteworthy news that I just found because there's not really enough of the one things. Well, except for maybe one of these to talk about it in a full podcast. So just thought we could maybe talk about them, maybe not. Just bring them up anyway.
Okay.
All right. So I think I have about 6 of them. I'm gonna start from. Should I start from the bottom or the top?
from the top, just scroll down.
All right. So the first one is there is now eyewitness testimony among 2,024 newly unsealed documents in the. I don't remember how to say her name. Whatever Maxwell Epstein that officially names Bill Clinton and Prince Andrew. Yikes.
Dang.
I mean, we already kind of knew that, but now we have confirmation.
Yeah, it was a confirmation thing from it.
Yeah. Now.
I heard that the lawyer for Jeffrey Epstein died, or is that who it was, or was it
No,
the wife?
Ghislaine
Some-
Maxwell.
Some lady who was gonna be part of the case had her son and husband shot by a person impersonating a FedEx driver. They didn't get her.
Impersonating-
Yeah, this
Oh,
dude
okay.
impersonated a FedEx driver, knocked on the door, and then shot.
Oh
him.
yeah, okay, I remember. now.
Oh, you mean Hillary showed up in a FedEx uniform?
All
They're
right,
just
the
like, Hillary Clinton, what are you doing?
The next one, according to Rasmussen, Trump is at 50% approval rating, 3 points higher than Obama at the same point in Obama's presidency.
Well, with the because Kanye is most likely going to split up the liberal vote, that means that Trump's most likely to win the election at this point. Then, right?
Maybe. I mean,
Possibly.
Biden's not spouting nonsense on
Yeah,
Twitter.
Joe Biden isn't. Well,
Well, that's what it's looking like.
as soon as he announces his VP pick, Trump's gonna go after him for that, because he's just gonna be able to claim that he's a husk of a man, and they're gonna be his vice president's basically gonna be the president.
If Joe Biden picks Kamala Harris, I don't think he'll win, even if Kanye
Gosh.
isn't there to split up the vote.
Kamala Harris is just.
All right, let's pretend I didn't say vote for us. All right, the next one is
Oh, here, hold on. I heard. I think I saw an article that said Kim Kardashian was trying to put Kanye West in a mental institute for his thoughts on abortion.
Well, his first, I guess you would call it, speech that he was having. It was basically just a big Q&A with people in public. He broke down because apparently they almost had an abortion or something, or
Yeah.
did or something like that.
didn't
And-
Kanye
Yeah, because-
apologize and say that he overreacted because he was just going through some something to do with his bipolar disorder.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, the bipolar disorder. And she was Kim Kardashian was worried about that also. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but since Kanye's a Christian now, right? He should be pro-life because that's how most Christians think.
If only that's how most Christians thought.
Mhm.
Well, that's
If only most Christians held up their standards.
the way that Christians are supposed to think.
If only most were Christians.
Christianity is the biggest religion in the world, but I don't believe that everybody in church is.
People don't hold up their
well-
standards.
Yeah,
Considering I think 60 to 70% of the U.S. identifies as Christian, something's not adding up there.
Yeah.
yeah, because I'll see a lot of people who come out as gay or bisexual or whatever say they're also Christian, but how can that be? Because the Bible says for a man to be with another man, it's an abomination.
I mean, as long as they're not acting on it.
So they don't.
But when
Go
they're
on.
doing, they're generally acting on it. 2/3 of progressive voters say they will respond with violence if Trump is reelected. I mean, they're already kind of responding with violence now, so it won't be much of
Whoa.
a change.
But what is that gonna accomplish? You're just gonna like burn cities and things, and then what's that gonna change?
Have you been watching the news for the past few months?
I really don't ever care to open up the news. I just like
All right.
see articles sometimes. And I'm like, oh, okay.
So, the 26th Congressional District of Florida, which is currently run by a Democrat, has a Republican leading in the polls.
Wow.
That part includes like Key West and part of like the Miami-Dade area,
Hmm.
but not Miami itself. It's really close to Miami, but not Miami itself. The next one is a bit of a interesting one. Tennessee State Senator Katrina Robinson, a Democrat, faces 20 years in prison on 48 counts of theft, embezzlement, and wire fraud.
Oh, I remember seeing about that.
Intriguing.
Tennessee's
So,
got to get their act
was
together.
she like taking bribes then, or like
It doesn't
doing
say
it-
bribery.
doesn't say bribery?
The only thing with bribery and stuff is the Southern Ohio stuff, where dudes like multiple millions of dollars in fraud and stuff when they were like part of a bailout of 2 nuclear power plants was actually just a large scheme of fraud.
Wow.
Okay.
I was actually there in Cincinnati when that was announced, so hey. Next is the last one is Charles Barkley defends sports players who refuse to kneel during the national anthem, and he's being attacked for it.
Yeah, because somebody said that the national anthem is now un-American because it was written by a slave owner or something. But like,
Was he a slave owner?
I think it's fine.
Wait.
Like, I understand. Like,
Who?
yeah, he was a slave owner, but like, it's talking about us winning our independence from Britain. You know, like it's us becoming America. How is that un-American?
Well, the fact that people are just trying to erase history and completely, like, okay. The, what was it? The Bill of Rights that was the ideal, what everybody wanted. But, that's what the Founding Fathers put in place for generations after them to work towards.
Yeah, that every man has these rights that the government gives them. But I saw it was a lady. She was a liberal, and she was saying that they wanted to change the Bill of Rights, or no, they wanted to change the Constitution, and they wanted to go from all men are created equal to all people are created equal. They wanted to change it to that. But she said something like this, like, no, it's stupid, and it should stay men. And I was like, well, aren't you a female and a liberal? Like, I thought you would want it to be changed. And so I think it's just like the thing that, like, whatever the media tells you to say, that's what the people are saying. Like, they don't really, like, the people on the news don't have much choice over what they actually say. They just read the script.
Well, I mean, they do have a choice, but it involves them getting fired. Though, what was it? CNN tweeted something about, like, talking about cervix cancer, and it was like all people with the cervix. It's called women, CNN. It's called women.
I know, right? Like, there's scientifically 2 genders. Like, you rather have X and Y or X and X. Like, that's how it works. It's in your DNA. It's in your genes.
Well,
It's
personally, I
also
don't
in your
believe we should
genes.
be glorifying people for having a mental disability. People that come out as transgender are not heroes. They're mentally unstable, and they need proper treatment, not just to cut their penis off.
Hot take.
Very controversial statement there, Brian.
I mean, I don't care if it's controversial. It's the truth.
And then the people who say it's trans.
I mean, it's an opinion. What's an opinion gonna do? You know, is a comedian gonna say something about God, and the next morning you wake up with leprosy because you were offended by it? No. All that's gonna happen. Yeah, you're gonna wake up with leprosy because we believe in Jesus. But all that is gonna happen is they're gonna get their feelings hurt. You know.
Well,
I
see,
mean, it's already
personally,
considered
I don't care about their feelings.
How dare you?
It should be.
How
It
dare you?
should be done by. I think a lot of people don't understand logic, like the logic of it. How look? What if I wonder. What do you think would happen if we put in uh a AI in for president? Like, don't let. I'm not saying like right now. If we were to like have an AI act as president, you know, but like have not like enforce any of it, but like just let the AI do what it thinks it needs to do as a president.
Somebody has
I
to teach
wonder.
AI though. Like it has to read stuff. It would have to read from articles. It would have to read all this stuff to learn.
Yeah, but
And
I
what
mean,
articles it's going to be reading? The ones that are widely spread everywhere: CNN, MSNBC.
okay, so
Oh
find.
God, AIs are gonna be
So
liberals.
what we're gonna have to do then? So what you would do
Yeah,
is you find the CNN article, and then you find the opposing article. You know, like you're gonna have to scour the internet and find that opposing article. What if we just let AI go through the internet itself? Just give it free reign on the internet. What happens then?
Then it'll find all the communist propaganda and be like, you need to kill a bunch of
But
people.
then it'll find all the smaller stuff too. No.
Yeah, but
it'll
then
be
there's
able
a
to-
problem that while you shouldn't put facts over feelings, like the AI, if it sees, oh, we're running out of resources, the AI would willingly slaughter half the population, just like Thanos.
Program
Is
it
that a
more
bad
with
thing,
moral
though?
code.
That would
Program.
that would
somebody
reduce
has to-
global warming.
Somebody has to code in a moral compass. Who's going to code in the moral compass?
Okay, code in something like how do you say it? For doctors they have that oath that they have to
The oath
say.
changes all the
Program
time.
something like that. No harm to humans, only help. Say again.
But then it'll be like, oh, we can't go to war. We shouldn't go to war now if somebody attacks us because no harm to human.
It would be
Okay.
extremely complex to code.
Well, like
Is what he's
it would
saying.
be very complex, but I'm saying like if we did it completely by logic.
It's not worth it. Too much for loose cannon.
Okay, so what if all governments were run by logic? What if the whole world was run purely off of logic?
So I've heard some stupid ideas from a lot of people. I've heard some stupid ideas from you, but that is by far the stupidest idea I think I've heard you say.
To run completely off of logic? Logic with moral code, then. You know, just something like don't harm humans and try to help the environment.
But then it
Like
would
humans
be
come first or
extremely
something.
pessimistic.
Yeah.
So
no,
you don't
it's-
think it'd work at all, then? It just wouldn't work.
Have you ever?
Or do you
watched-
think?
Have you ever watched that sci-fi movie starring Will Smith called I, Robot?
I think I've heard.
Okay,
of
but
it.
like those are sci-fi movies. But those are sci-fi movies.
You know what what sci-fi is, right?
Science fiction,
Exactly, but it's still based in science.
but it's fiction.
All fiction is just okay. I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, it's a good idea. We should replace all the government with AI. Brilliant.
Well, like I'm not saying to like enforce
That's how
it.
we get
I'm just
enslaved
saying,
really
what
quickly.
what would an AI do? I want to know. I want to see what an AI would do if it were given the task of help, don't harm humans, and be president of the United States. Then.
Well, it would
Then give
not
it
be
the
able
task of
to.
put in charge.
It wouldn't be able to start wars. It wouldn't be able to fight back for itself, and other countries would take advantage of America.
How about this? Don't harm Americans, unless they
But
give
then where do you draw the line?
unless they give consent.
Where do
so
you
then-
draw the line though?
No,
Are,
no,
uh,
say
people
don't
in
harm
America-
Americans. don't harm Americans unless they give consent or something like that. So then we can still have army soldiers.
How do you define Americans? That's where you have to go. How do you define Americans?
Okay, then the American, like the census, like everybody sent in their census, or
Yes,
like
but in
the
California, illegal immigrants are put on the census. That's what I'm
a
saying.
social
Well, where do
security
you-
number.
Where do you
If
draw
you
the
have a
line?
social security number in America, then you're American. The social security number. If you have a social security number, the AI is not allowed to harm that person unless they give consent to to go off to war.
See, personally, I believe technology shouldn't be that heavy into politics.
Well, like I'm not saying to do it. I'm just saying I want to know what would happen.
Probably nothing good would come of
We need to be
that.
able to run simulations.
But some non-Americans can get social security numbers, though.
Okay, so how are you defined as an American citizen? What makes you an American citizen then? Like,
That's what I'm saying. How would you define to the AI what an American citizen is? How do you
what does the government see as an American citizen?
Someone
Somebody
born
who's
in
here
America,
legally.
or someone that immigrated legally.
and what's it called? Took the citizenship test. And, right?
Then that's your boundaries. I just want to know what would happen. Like, I want this type of simulation run.
I don't think it will go over well.
I'm not ready for the future. Technology is going to take over too many aspects of the human life.
I saw a thing that's called a basic. How do you say it? A basic like stand. It's like a standard. Like everybody receives this money every month, but you also have like the choice to go out and work to make more money. And the amount of money that they'd give you is just enough to like live off of, you know. And so you don't have to work, but you can if you want.
So communism.
No, it's not communism because it's still a free enterprise. We still have a republic government. We vote people up in Washington and they decide on things. But like everybody just gets this set amount of money to live. So
That would be feeding into the left's hands on government. They want more power for the government, and if the government's just handing out money willy-nilly like that, then they would have far too much power and be able to take over way too easy.
Hold on. I don't think you don't deserve Master Server. We gotta go. Perfect.
Commie spy. No, communism and socialism are proven to not work whatsoever.
Well, I know that, but it's not communism. It's just everybody gets this set amount of money.
But again, that would be feeding into the left's hands for a more top-down government. They want the power in the federal government to be able to control everybody's lives.
What power does the government have?
The government has the power to...
Make it, well, then make it life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and a basic income.
No, there shouldn't be a basic income.
These are ideas that I've gotten from other places.
It's a capitalistic system. A set base income that every American would get would make people dependent on the government, and it wouldn't help our economy whatsoever because some people would just be sitting at home getting that free money.
Okay, but we still make a free enterprise. If you want to make a business, you make a business. You know?
Well, then our economy would collapse, and it would cause the entire world to go into anarchy.
But then you make a business and you have to pay somebody for their job the exact same as Apple would pay for that same job.
Trying to wrap that.
You're saying everybody, if they did the same job, they would get the same amount of money.
What?
But
No,
if you started,
no. What he's saying is that everybody
I'm
would
saying
get like
everybody.
it's basically like saying everybody would get a certain amount of money. It'd be like unemployment, but you can still have a job.
I thought he was talking about something earlier about the what's it called? Everybody does a job and gets paid that much for that job, like everywhere. I thought he
No,
was saying that earlier.
no, not at all. I'm
I
saying
must
that you
have
get like I think people get paid what they're worth. You know,
I
like
must
you
have
work
like heard bits and pieces and then jumped to the wrong conclusion.
for what you get paid. But like I'm saying that everybody has this basic income that they get, and then they also have the choice to go out to get to work for themselves or work for business and get money that way also. So
That
you
would
can
just cause
better.
citizens to be too dependent on the government.
I suppose so.
I'm probably gonna be muted for a little bit longer.
Okay. Well, like this was a Quartz Kazar video. This was something I saw of a Quartz Kazar video, and it's been a while since I've seen the video. But like the way that they describe it, it makes a little bit of sense. But like I like to hear other people's stances on things like this. I don't think that I'm relating it the best way I can, but I think that on paper, I think that it could work on paper, but it might turn into like communism, where it just doesn't work at all, you know?
Yeah, but yeah, no, a set base income of every citizen would just cause for an economic collapse because people wouldn't be wanting to work. They'd just want to sit on their couches and get the free money. So the economy would collapse, and then the government would take more power, and if you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. So then the government would just start controlling more and more aspects of everyday life.
Well, like the amount of money is like the amount of money that I'm saying to give is just a basic like this is like if you use this correctly, this is all that you need to live by yourself. Enough money to put gas in your car, to go to the grocery store and buy food and come home. That's the amount of money that you get. So like say right now, I guess basically I'd say around
Whoa, you
like, what
shouldn't
it
get
would
the amount of
equal
money
up
you need to
to.
live.
Yeah, no, the amount of money to put gas in your car, go to the grocery store, and get food. That's all that you
Gasoline for your car is not a
It's not a
and pay
guaranteed
necessity.
rent.
That
So
is
like
not
what, $30,000 a year?
No, the state or the national GDP wouldn't cover that. There would be massive inflation, and they would just be printing a buttload of money constantly. It wouldn't work.
Well, then we make money easier to make or something. I don't know, but like say like maybe you get $30,000 a year. Like it's not enough for entertainment or anything like that.
But
No.
It's
you get
just
there, that's enough to
But
live.
though.
you're saying like what you're implying is that needing a car and gasoline to get your groceries is a necessity.
Okay, so then it's enough to go get groceries, to walk to a grocery store.
No,
Did I hear $30,000?
$30,000 a year is plenty for entertainment.
My cousin
And
makes less than that, and he can easily support himself and his wife.
Okay, so 20,000.
That's
No,
still...
it would. You could survive on
10,000.
5,000 a year. That is well more than enough for
I very
food.
much doubt you can survive. I
You're
very
saying you
much
don't have
doubt
enough money for entertainment, but like, look, somebody just buys a console, one-time purchase of $300.
$5,000 a year would be well more than enough to survive for an entire year.
I very much doubt that. I don't think you could survive off of $5,000 a year.
People in third world countries survive off of less than $1 a day.
So what? $365 a year.
$5,000 a year. You could buy seeds
Well,
to plant
is
your own
stuff
food.
cheaper over in third world countries? Okay, so you plant your own food or something, but like it's just I'm saying it's just enough to be able to get groceries to eat. And then
No,
if you
that-
want a better
again,
standing in
that
life, you
would-
go to work.
Again, that would
If-
just lead people to become dependent on the government. They would
We
blow
already
all their
have that.
money
It's
and then
called
blame the
food
government.
stamps. It's called food stamps.
So it just wouldn't work.
No, it wouldn't. That's leaning towards socialism, and socialism has never worked in the history of ever.
There have been
Okay.
many socialist and communist African countries, and how many are there still? None.
USSR collapsed.
Oh yeah, yeah. What do you think about healthcare?
No. You don't need healthcare. It's overrated. You just don't get sick.
It's free in other countries. They're doing.
Yeah. Canada also doesn't allow their citizens to have guns.
It also takes Canada. It also in Canada, it's literally hours. Have you not seen this?
Oh
new
yeah, it's
Governor
like an
video?
hour. It's like an hour's long wait. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Also,
went there.
If
He went for the
there's,
thing, and it took him like 8 hours, and they still didn't get in. They had to go back the next day.
well,
And
you
then
gotta
the
understand,
doctor
if there was,
recommended them
like,
a private clinic.
if there was to be national free healthcare, then everybody in the nation would have to pay taxes on it. Which brings up the fact that some people don't go to the doctors as much as other people, therefore we shouldn't have to pay for their problems. That's, you know, that's...
So just don't.
Free
So
healthcare
just
in
don't get
Sweden,
sick.
They pay 50% of their income in taxes every year.
Yeah.
Can't wait to do that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I wouldn't want it.
I will be leaving
So
America.
just don't get sick then.
I will be
Where are you
leaving
gonna leave?
America.
Where are you gonna go to?
Where am I gonna go to? I think I'm thinking China. China sounds pretty nice.
Isn't China socialist right now or something?
Yeah, I heard they're opening
China
up the
isn't
wet
really
markets again though, so
socialist.
I can go get some bat soup.
China's not super socialist.
Uh,
Wait,
they're
They're complete.
it's more. It's very
dictatorship.
authoritarian. Yeah, but dictatorship doesn't mean socialism.
Yeah, it's extremely top-down government.
It's kind of capitalism, but like state capitalism, kind of. So kind of like socialism, but very authoritarian. Well, I guess socialism is authoritarian anyway, but like, you get what I mean.
Yeah.
What's Hong Kong's
Hong Kong is China.
government right now?
Hong Kong is a autonomous territory of the People's Republic of China. It was given over to the People's Republic of China in 1999. It was given to them by the British government, and they were under an agreement that for 50 years they would not interfere with the rights of Hong Kong. And we haven't hit 50 years yet.
And China's just like, hey, that's ours now.
And
I was thinking Singapore, their government.
Singapore is not China. Singapore is not even considered a free country, considered partly free. It's considered, yeah. You're not allowed to criticize the government. You could be imprisoned. If you are caught smuggling any drugs, you don't go to prison. You get executed.
Oh, that sounds quite nice.
Dang.
Sounds quite peaceful over there.
They have a completely free enterprise, or
Well, yeah, their market's
How do I
really
say it?
free, but the people
Yeah.
themselves aren't necessarily the freest.
Okay.
I personally believe that if the Republicans lose this election, America is going to crumble.
I saw a thing that Trump lowered taxes, and if Biden gets elected in, then he's gonna like raise taxes back up to like 30% or something
Yeah, well, okay.
like that.
The liberals pretty much just handed over the Democratic Party to the radical leftists.
Yeah, but like I'm asking, like, is that how like they're standing? Is that how Biden's standing, like, to raise
Well,
taxes?
you know, the Democratic ideal
considering-
is, you know, free healthcare for all,
Considering
no
Biden's
college
getting
debt, all
more
of that
left
kind of
every
stuff.
day. Biden's getting more left every day, so like he's basically a Bernie puppet. So
Well, Biden's just a puppet in general. He's dead.
Who is?
yeah, but now he's more of a Bernie puppet than he was before.
And if he chooses Kamala Harris for his VP pick, then
That'll be a bad move.
it would be a terrible move.
It
I
wouldn't help him.
I don't really see it happening, but it's definitely a possibility. It's not the strongest possibility, but it could happen. If he did choose Kamala Harris, he would basically be handing the election to Trump, though, because he will strike with lots of force.
I don't got anything else. What?
Well, I mean, how long did we go on UBIs? That wasn't even going to be the topic. The topic was going to be rioting and the violence, but we can still do that anyway. All right. So one of these is Antifa rioters dumped a bloody, severed pig head on an American flag outside the Justice Center in Portland.
I hadn't heard about that one.
They then put a cop hat on it and set the whole thing on fire.
It's quite violent.
You can't base all the cops based on a few bad apples. I understand that in police force, you can't like have bad apples, but like it still happens. You know?
Well, there's bad people no matter what. Like,
yeah, there's
area
bad
or
people.
group there
There's
is.
people who's gonna abuse that kind of power. You know, and
I just had a sexist teacher at the
understand and
other
stuff like
year,
the police
so I
force.
think
Like, we'd rather not have people.
You had a sexist teacher?
Yeah, I think it's time to go to the teachers. I won't name names. I'll type it in chat afterwards. But
What grade?
what was last year?
Last year.
10th grade or 9th grade year. I don't know what last year is anymore.
10th grade. Was it a male
Don't
or a
say
female
male.
teacher?
Female, because the males don't care.
You can't. Do they?
I
Yeah.
can I'm pretty sure I know which one.
What's the first letter of the subject they teach?
Would it be E?
Oh, okay, yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I caught on pretty quickly.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Alright, another one is good old 5'3" Jerry Nadler, a representative from New York, when asked to comment on the violent riots in Portland,
They're a myth.
said that, yeah, that's a myth. Well, he said, that's a myth that's being only spread in Washington, D.C.
That
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
It's not looking
Yeah,
very
he
good
said
for
that's a
him.
myth that's being spread only in Washington, D.C.
So why do we in Texas know about it?
Because he's a representative for the country.
So no, I'm
Oh,
saying
wait,
you
no,
know,
I was
if,
confused.
Why do we know
Never
about
mind, I got
the
what you meant.
violent riots?
I got what you meant right after you said it. I got what you meant.
like if it's only being spread in D.C., why do we know about it?
I think he meant like it started in DC and then was spread. But either way, he's still wrong.
Well, that's kind of obvious, but
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Also, he's always talking about coronavirus, and he wasn't wearing a mask when the two conservative figures asked him.
What about Anthony Fraudchi?
And, Anthony Fraudchi. You know, he now has the best-selling limited edition Topps card in baseball history.
Yeah, that's just disgusting.
wait, he now has what?
He has the best-selling limited edition baseball card in Topps history. Sad, sad, sad. He also refuses to condemn the protests, but we already knew that. Oh! Did you hear about the Antifa dude who got ratted out by his grandma?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what I wrote down. This man threw an IEP at the courthouse and someone video. You weren't able to actually see him, but you could see like flashes of his clothing, and some people, I think it was on 4chan actually, were able to identify some of the clothing he was wearing. And then they were able to, after combing through like hours of video clips and looking through thousands of photos of the riots of that night, they were able to find this dude in multiple pictures. Yeah, they were able to get like the front profile, side profile. They were able to get everything. They even got there was even a video apparently. Okay, so you remember what were they called? They were called like I think they called her Naked Athena or something.
Um,
Do you know
Naked
what I'm talking
ballerina.
about? I don't think it was ballerina, but the lady who was just sitting in front of the cops, just on the asphalt.
Oh, was it like the naked yoga woman?
Yeah. So they got videos of a dude. He was like protecting the lady from the cops, and the whole time as he was like escorting her across the street so the cops couldn't get her, he was sneaking looks. But they were then able to identify the vest he was wearing, and they went to the website that the vest is sold on, and they found a review left by his grandma. And she had also submitted pictures of him in the vest in the.
That's just unfortunate, man.
Ratted out by your own grandma unintentionally.
Imagine getting like ratted out by your grandma because of a vest.
She ain't never cooking him dinner again.
Thanksgiving's gonna be weird.
Imagine that, like walking in. And like, Grandma, you ratted me out for throwing a homemade explosive device at the courthouse. How could you? And then the federal officers who were driving around vans. What have you heard about that?
Well, I mean, I've heard what the left has to say about it. You know, unmarked
Yeah.
vans, unmarked officers, kidnapping people, taking innocent people in, and arresting them.
So what's actually going on? You probably already know, but I'm going to say it anyway because I don't know if Hollis knows. He probably knows, but for the people listening who may not know, even though they are driving around in unmarked vans only so that they don't get attacked and violently harassed. But when they are wearing identifying markings on their clothing, they're not going around just completely plain clothes. But then they pick up people who are suspected of crimes, violent crimes, and then they read them their rights, and then question them, and then release them. But apparently that's kidnapping innocent people off the
So like
streets
nothing with
and playing,
Yeah, but like nothing what the left is saying.
Hold on, I gotta mute for a second again.
Yeah. But the federal agents going in and doing this, if somebody commits a crime on a like in the vicinity of a federal building and then leaves the scene, they are allowed to go arrest them, even if they've fled the scene. That's the fact that Democrats are suggesting that they're not allowed to do that is completely idiotic and wrong.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure the government knows their own laws and is going accordingly to them, you know, because they had to stop a bunch of the stuff that's happening, you know, but it's not like they're doing it in the right way, but everybody's like, oh no, we know the law, you can't do that.
That's a pretty good Bernie impression. I gotta be honest with you, that was a pretty good Bernie impression.
What's something Bernie would say? It's poor people have the same rights as white people.
That was Joe Biden. But
Yeah, that's Joe Biden.
good try.
Also, that wasn't really a Bernie.
That was
impression
Biden,
there.
right? That was Biden.
Say something about universal health care.
We need some. No, I can't do it.
Or that you're once again asking for financial support.
I'm once again asking for financial support.
No, you kind of sound like Italian. Hispanic.
I'm once again asking for financial support.
Once again asking for financial support.
No, now you sound like what's his name? The dude who voices all the characters.
Joe Swanson, Kronk.
Yeah.
That was the guy from Family Guy. That was the lame
No,
guy
that was
from
the
Family
dude
Guy.
from Emperor's New Groove.
Emperor's New Groove.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Kronk's New Groove. That's a great movie.
Patrick Warburton. That's it.
Whoa. Nice Kronk. Riley, do you have any more topics?
Oh yeah, what do you think about President Trump calling to delay the election? Don't think he was actually like serious. I think he was doing it to rile people up, but I'm still gonna ask the question.
I'm fairly certain he's not serious about it, but the mail-in
Answer it
system
as
is definitely corrupt.
Answer it as if he was serious about delaying the election.
Okay, well, first off, the mail-in system is extremely corruptible. There's no reason that people shouldn't be able to go out and vote in person. Anybody suggesting that is just completely and blatantly wrong. Social distancing and wearing masks and sanitizing the surfaces completely doable. If they want to have an accurate election, it needs to be in person. Mail-in voting doesn't work.
That wasn't a response to Trump's call to postpone the election, though. So, you missed the mark a little.
It's a ploy to get him into office longer. I think that's what most
Well, if he
people
really
would
wanted to
think.
stay in office longer, he could just declare a war, because if a president's in office
Yeah, he could
during
start
the
a
war,
war with
they
somebody.
can just stay in office.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was really serious about that, but like we need to have the election on the election day because this is how the country is run.
Well, the election needs to be held on election day, and it needs to be in-person voting.
Yeah, it should. Like we're going back to school,
Oh,
they can
that's like,
have an
you know,
election day.
that brings up another topic. Should students be going back to school? Absolutely. Absolutely.
I feel like
they
we
should be
learn
going back to
better.
school.
People learn better in school with the classroom and with the teacher rather than online because I mean I didn't learn anything. I think that having a teacher is better. I think public school is like totally crap right now, but just
Public school sucks. Gladewater
Just so you know, I
sucks.
will
like
take that out
having
of
teachers
context.
works
I
better,
will take that out.
so you can have somebody. What? Take what?
I don't learn anything.
Oh yes, of course. Go ahead.
What was that? Yeah, I don't. For me, if anything, I learned better online, but that's not because I'm doing the things the school wants me to. It's because I'm looking up my own stuff.
I didn't learn anything because I just asked Google.
I mean,
I learned how to use Google to find the answers. That's what it taught me.
It's not like I took it into my brain or something, I
used
learned how to use Google better.
anyway. I didn't bother doing it. It takes way too long, so I just Google it anyway.
That's like algebra. I don't understand why they're forcing us to learn how to work out algebraic problems, and like using formulas that we memorize.
I know. It's
Yeah,
so
when are we
stupid.
gonna ever need to find the slope of x? Like, if we're gonna need that, why not teach it to us in college? For like certain, because like you're only gonna use that in certain
Because in college,
jobs.
you're supposed to be perfecting stuff. You're not supposed to be learning it. You're supposed to be like you are supposed to be learning something, but you're more supposed to be like perfecting the things you already know to better fit the career path you want to go. Besides, didn't you say you wanted to be an engineer? Or
An architect.
an architect? Yeah, you'll need to know how to do that.
Yeah, you'll need that.
I'll need to know how to do that, but like not everybody else is gonna need
See-
to know how to do that.
Yeah, but
And no,
not
I
everybody
won't-
else knows what they want to do at this point. Like
I
I
know
don't know
I'm
exactly
not.
what I
Well,
wanna do.
listen. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
need.
You might want a backup plan though. If
I want to be an
Define the slope
inbound
of
Thank you,
closer.
X.
that's right.
I make
I
the
want to be
slope
an
of the roof.
inbound closer.
Okay, that's not what I thought you were gonna say. So never mind.
No,
Hey, listen.
I want to be an inbound closer because basically all you do is answer phone calls for a few hours a day, and you can make upwards of $1,000 per phone call.
I thought you were gonna have I thought you were gonna be a mechanic, Brian.
That would be on the side. Hollis, with the
On the
job
side.
that with the job that I'm trying to go for, I would be working 5 days a week, 3 weeks a month, and drawing a starting six-figure salary.
That's ridiculous.
Basically, it's the job. You have to answer phones for companies. Okay, so you'll like make a contract with a company. You'll be taking anywhere from 10 to 20% commission on the sales. It's high dollar buyers that are purchasing something from the company. The deals can range anywhere from like $10,000 to $100,000 and more. Um, and it's basically being a phone salesman, but you don't have to do any of the grimy sales tactics because they've already looked into the company and they want to buy it. They just like you're confirming with them and getting them to pay for it.
So basically, you're an independent contractor.
Kind of, yeah. But if I can get that job, I will be working on my own time from anywhere in the world, and I can be working from my phone.
So you take in calls for that company, and so do you call up the company and say, "Hey, this person's decided to do this with y'all"?
No, basically the company will direct their phone calls to you, and you just get them to confirm that they're gonna buy it or whatever they're paying for. And working on
Does the
my own
company
time.
listen in on this like phone call? Do they have
No,
like a recording of it?
they don't live on the they don't listen in on the phone call, but you confirm with them that they're gonna buy it, and then they go to the company and buy the stuff, and then you take commission.
Oh, okay. Sounds like a simple job.
Very. And if I can do that, I can make a schedule and only take calls at certain times during the day. Work on my own time, and then I could
Well, then you're
I
gonna
could
have to.
have a car shop on the
How are you
side.
gonna How are you gonna show prove your trustworthiness to companies and your ability to do this?
There's it's kind of like a firm that
Because
you
the
can
company's
go
gonna have to
through.
trust you to do these
Yeah, yeah.
things.
Well, okay. Most people when they start, when they're beginning an inbound closing, they'll have about a 40% rate of successful calls. Um, the more you work and the more fluid you get at talking, once you have like a script that you just kind of go off of, you can get the approval rates up to 75-80%. So you won't be getting paid for every phone call, but every successful one you'll be drawing a fairly sizable amount.
So for your time and your cooperation with this company, you get paid a amount of what the company gets.
Okay, so basically, say the deals, somebody's paying the company $9,800 for their services or a product,
And what, you take
and
10%
you take
commission?
10% commission, so that's $980 for a phone call. These deals can range up to $50,000.
I mean, it
and
sounds
more.
like it worked to me.
The deals can range anywhere. They could be however high the amount of money goes to, for the deal.
Yeah.
And you can, like, if you keep working with the company, you can get higher rates of commission and higher approval rates on the phone calls. So you can be making $10,000-$15,000 for a phone call. In the
So
long
do you
run.
know what you have? Do you know what you have to do to get into this job?
To get into the job, there's, like I said earlier, there's kind of it's sort of like a firm that you can go through that introduces you to the companies and teaches you, like, it gives you a script to go by, and, like, pretty much teaches you how to go through it.
Okay, so you'll go to a firm and the firm will hire you.
It's
Like, will
it's
they put your
it's
name to the
okay.
company?
It's
The
kind of
company will
like
decide to
it's
hire
kind of like a trade school, in a essence. You go through like a program, learn what you're doing, and they'll introduce you to the company so you can start working on your own.
you. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah.
But
Right.
it's a blooming industry, um, multi-billion-dollar industry already.
The do you know what the rates for hire is?
Um, it's not really like it wouldn't. I don't think you would really classify it as a rate of hire. Um, anybody can sign up for like the program to start learning how to inbound close. Um, you just have to show commitment and patience.
Okay. Riley, do you have any thing to say about it?
No, the only thing I have to say, well, the only thing I was going to say is that we need to wrap it up because it's almost 5. So I have nothing left to say.
All right.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to say.
Yeah, I'm done.
All right. Well, that's been the 4th episode of the Zoomer Experience. Go to rogueenergy.com. Use code Zoomer at checkout for 10% off.
Oh, wait.
What?
We now have a Twitter account and an Instagram account.
That's
Right.
right.
Yes. Yes. Of course.
So go follow us on Twitter. On Twitter at TZE Podcast, and follow us on Instagram at Zoomer Experience. Can't think of the word.
Spaces, capitalization.
Faces.
No. It's
Oh, the little like thing that go
Comma.
down. Yeah.
Or
No,
underscores.
no.
yeah,
Underscores.
No underscores. So the Zoomer Experience, no underscores. All one word on Instagram and at TZE Podcast, capital TZEP. Those are all the capitals in the Twitter handle at TZE Podcast.
All right. Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Zoomer Experience.
Thank you
We'll
for
see
watching
y'all
this installment of the Consumer Experience.